time to go get snacks and raffle tickets. Beginning of Act 2, the lights come up and the narrator welcomes the audience back to the show. He fills them in on what has been happening since they've been gone. Judah and Ryan have broken up. Dan and Sue are officially separated, and Crystal and Jeannie have been growing more and more close. They've been exploring everything. We shine light on Crystal and Jeannie arriving at their apartment together. Crystal has some acid tabs that they clearly just went and picked up. And in no way does this musical condone drugs, but it is with Beatles songs and it's about self-discovery. So, you know, it's gonna be in there. The two of them take the acid tabs and they trip together. As the trip goes on, they kind of start to get more and more intimate. This is to kind of a mashup of Magical Mystery Tour and I Am the Walrus. It starts with Magical Mystery Tour. The Magical Mystery Tour is hoping to take you away. Then when they're tripping, it changes to I Am the Walrus. I am he, you are he, we are me, and we are all together. Lights come back to Dan, who's arriving home. He's drunk and angry and sad, and he is staring at an empty house. His wife is gone. He can barely sing through the song he's about to sing. It's Yesterday. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why'd she have to go? I don't know, she wouldn't say. It's not melodic, it's not pretty, it is between tears, it is out of pitch, it is out of rhythm, it is sloppy and drunken, and it's showing that he is in this place where he is at the deepest, darkest point he has ever been. Lights back up and we are looking at Crystal and Jeannie. They're in bed together, alluding, you know, they are exchanging personal stories. We join them while Crystal's just finishing up one, and now it's Jeannie's turn. She is describing all her fears, all her regrets, all her worries, and Crystal sings Little Jeannie to her, confessing that she is in love with her. Lights up to Dan and Sue's house. Dan is asleep on the couch and Sue comes in to drop off the baby. She wakes him up and she gives him divorce papers. All he has to do now is sign them. She does not stay long enough for him to talk or say anything to her. She drops off the papers, she drops off the baby, and she leaves. Dan then begins to sing Rocket Man. He starts off by kind of singing to himself and to the divorce papers, then to the ghost of where his wife was standing before she left, and then to his baby. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell. And there's no one there to raise them if you did. As he's singing, he starts to get more and more into a panic attack. He starts freaking out. He starts drinking. He starts popping pills, doing everything he can possibly think of. And he's spiraling. Eventually, he just kind of stops. He becomes kind of numb. He finishes the song very monotonously and he goes to bed and never wakes up. He dies, he kills himself. Lights up and the narrator tells us that Judah's dad did not take kindly to Judah trying to come out to him. It was not processed at all, and a lot of what Judah was worried about was rightfully so. We see Judah in his room viciously packing his stuff. He's decided that he wants to run away to his aunt in Philadelphia. He's never met her, nor does he know anything about her, but he knows that anything would be better than what he's doing right now. He's deciding that he wants to finally take control of his life, and he sings Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. You know you can't hold me forever. I didn't sign up with you. I'm not a present for your friends to open. This boy's too young to be singing the blues. Lights up to the very final scene of Dan's story. We are at his funeral, and Dan's wife is singing at his funeral for him. She is realizing that she doesn't think she handled the situation as good as she should have, and she has a lot of regrets. She sings Daniel and is joined by Dan's best friend. Daniel, my brother, you are older than me. Do you still feel the pain of the scars that won't heal? Lord, I miss Daniel. Lord, I miss him so much. And then they finish the song together. Dan's friend starts talking and his audio and the lights fade out together. Lights up on Jeannie. She is alone. Location is unclear. She is sitting here and she is praying to whatever is out there. And she is really coming to terms with the fact that things are not how they have always been, and she is learning that what she believes isn't what she said she believed, and she is announcing it proudly. She decided that at the end of the day, the only cosmic power that really matters is love, and this is to believe. I believe in love, it's all we got. Love has no boundaries, costs nothing to touch but love. I believe in love. Lights come back up again, and Jude is sitting by himself with his suitcase, and he seems to have lost hope. The narrator explains to us that Judah's having second thoughts. He doesn't think that he's going to be able to take care of himself. He doesn't think he's going to be able to make it, and he's pretty much decided that he's just going to go back home and suck it up and just wait until he graduates and moves out officially. Then the narrator stops himself and he apologizes to the audience. He tells them that he knows that he has no place to have favorites or opinions on the characters in the stories he tells, nor is he allowed to interfere in any way. So he apologizes to the audience, but he says that he's always hated this part and he has to do something. And he steps back into the play and he approaches Judah. He gives him money for a train ticket as well as any money he might need for anything after that. He gives him some words of encouragement. He sings "Hey Jude," and he tells him that everything's gonna be okay, basically. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. Take a sad song and make it better. So lights down on that. Lights up, and we have the final scene, the epilogue. The narrator is explaining to the audience everything that has happened. Sue moved out of state. Dan's friend ended up with custody of the baby. It was a whole court thing because of the had left the baby with Dan when he was clearly unstable, and eventually it was just clear that she was not fit to be a mother, and Dan's friend was much more fit for the job. Jeannie and Crystal are now officially dating. Jeannie is still pursuing her studies and they are doing great. They're growing and learning together and still exploring the world every chance they can. Jeannie is still in contact with her mom and she's always gonna try to make her mom understand, but she's gotten to the point now where she realizes her mom does not have to understand her in order for her to be okay with where she is in her life. The narrator tells us that Judah made it to Philadelphia. Unfortunately, his aunt was long gone by the time he got there, but with the money he had acquired, he was able to get a couple of nights at a bed and breakfast just outside of Philly. It's a family-owned place, and the woman who runs it has a very soft heart, and she grows to really like Judah. She gives him a job and eventually takes him in as one of her own. They have a very happy family and many of siblings. And then the narrator tells us that he knows that that's a very cheesy ending and honestly quite realistic, but that's how he had always wished it had ended. And then they have bows and they sing Philadelphia Freedom. And then lights out, and that's the end of the show. That is the plot for my musical. I really like it, and I feel like it has a really personal connection to me because, you know, this past year has been a very transitional period for my life, as I'm sure it has been for all of the other freshmen, and I relate a lot to Jeannie. And I really like the way I set up this musical. I think it's unique. It is not like a lot of other contemporary musicals that are on Broadway right now. And honestly, I wish I could see it happen live, so thank you so much for listening, and stay safe and wash your hands.